that there.
We're now on the Performer Awards section here. We have 3 sections of Performer Awards, and of course broken down more and more categories. First, the best and the worst newcomer or rookie or whatever you would say of the year. This counts not only the new people that are on the roster, but also the new characters of the year. So who's the worst newcomer of the year?
The worst newcomer of the year. He repeated because he's thinking as he's trying to find a result. First, I can't even remember anybody who made a debut this year that fell flat. Unless you want to consider Sweet Tea. He's been there, but Sweet Tea really took off running this year. I'm going to stick with him. I hate him.
Yeah, it's a different character.
Yeah, Sweet Tea. Douche.
Bo Dallas. He came into the Royal Rumble. He did virtually nothing. They set him up for a potential feud with Wade Barrett, and he had about one or two matches. Doesn't exist ever since then.
I forgot about him.
I went with, for best, Biggie Langston, though. Because Biggie, he technically popped up at the very, very tail end of last year. But he's been awesome for the most part. And, he actually has a chance of making the Intercontinental title look pretty good.
Yeah. I'm going to give it to Bray Wyatt, the Wyatts. I haven't really given them much credit through the awards, and now I have the opportunity. He's here.
Best and the worst Diva of the year.
Diva.
Worst Diva. Who sucked?
I can't stand Oksana.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, she's pointless. She's holding a roster spot for someone like a Paige to come up, so...
Or Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
She's come up too.
Yeah.
Rosa Mendez, and I almost gave this to Oksana, but Oksana has actually improved a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Yeah. Rosa, though, she either was the same as last year or she got worse. It's utterly pointless. There's no point in Rosa. She doesn't wrestle well, or at all for the most part. She can't cut a promo. She doesn't act as like a manager anymore to Epico and Primo, where at least then she would dance in front of the audience and people were like, oh, look at that, the hot chick. There's no point in Rosa. Rosa's there for stuff backstage.
It's the problem with the Divas division. Either they matter or they... You're still here? Why?
Who do you think was the best, though?
AJ.
Going with AJ as well? Yeah, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
Natalya is a good diva, and Total Divas are entertaining and all that, but AJ Lee...
She's got character. Yeah, she's got character, and she can wrestle. Whereas, like, Natalya can wrestle, not too much character, and then you have Caitlyn that can wrestle, but not too much character. And then you have
say that she can wrestle.
Yeah, and then the Bellas that are pretty much all character, not great at wrestling. So she's the happy medium in the middle.
Best and the worst tag team or stable of the year, because technically they kind of count as tag teams and all that. What do you think's the worst?
The worst, in a year where the tag team division is rising and stealing the pay-per-views, I'm not a fan of the Los Matadors. They should just stay at Epico and Primo. I don't see the point. They didn't see the point of them then. I don't see the point of them now. I'm just not really buying into that whole thing.
Olé, not doing it.
Olé.
I'm going with a stable as well. Kali and Natalya and Hornswoggle.
Oh God, I forgot they were a thing.
I could go on for a long
time.
But Natalya walks out with them as if she's like their handler or something. And Natalya's like, here, hold my arm because we don't, you got something.
The ring's this way.
Yeah, you got something wrong with you, and here, the little Hornswoggle,
She's just a crutch.
I can't. Best tag team of the year.
And like I said, it's tough. This division has really just ran in. From people like Goldust and Cody that have been phenomenal the last couple months. Cody and Sandow, who were phenomenal the first part of the year. And then you have the Wyatts, the Shield, Antonio Cesaro, who's carrying Jack Swagger. Even the Usos aren't that bad. They're annoying with their whole little Samoan chant. They didn't do that. They would be okay.
Did a Macarena.
Hey, it's the Usos. And I'm gonna have to go with the Shield. They're dominating. I like them. Ambrose has character. Rollins is phenomenal in the ring, and Reigns is a powerhouse. It's an awesome stable.
Shield as well. Same reasons.
Believe.
Believe in the Shield.
Believe in the Shield. My eye. He's the governor.
Walk in Panama. The Shield is just awesome. I mean, I do think that they're a little bit overrated in some aspects. I don't think that Dean Ambrose is a godsend to wrestling or anything like that. I think Seth Rollins is, at most, somebody who should stick around the Intercontinental title scene. Roman Reigns has a bright future ahead of him, but that's individually. As a tag team, the Shield is
well balanced.
The tag team in WWE.
Yep.
And they got to a point where they took tag team to main event. So I can't argue against that.
Yeah, the Punk and Bryan and them were like main eventing every Raw, and it was worth watching that 11 to 11:15 that they're not supposed to have.